Can you hear me, Srishti?
Yes, sir.
Good. So, where do we
Good
start?
morning, sir.
No, Akhilesh. In the practice. It's a rather hot day. Without the fan, situation is rather bad. The humidity is so high. I've just had a bath and I feel hot. So hot. My capital city. You wrote some sentences in the group. Um, Sanjeev, I looked at your sentences. Would like to give you a little bit of a response here. This is Muhammad Numan MP4. What did he send? 14 MP5. Future news in Dubai. Okay, interesting. Now, first of all, let's look at your sentences here. The sentences you have written. I would like to look at sentence number 2 first. My friend moved in Delhi. We don't say moved in Delhi, that is substandard English. Sometimes what happens when you listen to native speakers of English, but not highly educated native speakers, हिंदी में तुम्हारी हिंदी स्टैंडर्ड हिंदी नहीं है श्रेयांश। अगर कोई तुम्हें सुने और कहे कि मैं तो किसी हिंदी नेटिव स्पीकर को सुन रहा हूँ, तो बहुत सी ऐसी चीजें सीख लेगा जो हिंदी के स्टैंडर्ड के हिसाब से गलत हैं, because your Hindi is not standard, right? Maybe my Hindi is not very standard, but it is maybe a little more correct than yours, right? So different native speakers have different degree of correction in the language. तो ये अगर तुमने किसी को सुन के लिखा है, क्योंकि मैंने कभी सुना है मूव इन दिल्ली, ठीक है, तो वो जो बोलने वाला था ना, वो बहुत ज्यादा स्टैंडर्ड इंग्लिश नहीं बोल रहा था। ओके, बाकी सेकंड थिंग, हो सकता है तुमने सुना नहीं हो, तुमने सिर्फ ऐसी गलती कर दी हो, ठीक है, आई डोंट नो। तो यू टेल मी, माय फ्रेंड मूव्ड इन दिल्ली, कैसे है ये सेंटेंस तुम्हारे में? मूव्ड इन, यहाँ इन लिखने की वजह? कहीं सुनना या मतलब कि लगना कि शायद यही सही होगा इसलिए लिखना? ओके, मूव टू दिल्ली हम लोगों ने सीखा है कोर्स में, तुम्हें उसको इग्नोर नहीं करना चाहिए था। वी हैव लर्न मूव टू अ प्लेस, कहीं जाके रहने लगना। मूव टू अ प्लेस, ओके। माय ग्रैंडफादर 50 years ago moved to Bihar from Birmingham, okay? So my friend moved to Delhi, his uncle lives there, ठीक है? My friend moved to Delhi, comma, where his uncle lives. Perfect. Okay. वैसे अगर बहुत ज्यादा ये करूं तो इसमें इस सेंटेंस को तुम्हें प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट में बोलना चाहिए। माय फ्रेंड हैज मूव्ड टू दिल्ली वेयर हिज अंकल लिव्स। तुम किसी को बता रहे हो, जानकारी दे रहे हो, तो जब कोई इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर करते हैं न्यूज के तौर पे, कोई बात बताते हैं जो सामने वाले को पता नहीं है, तो प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट में बताते हैं। कोई खबर देते हैं किसी को, व्हेन वी शेयर न्यूज विद समबॉडी, तो वो न्यूज किस में देते हैं? प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट में। तो एक तरह से न्यूज के मेरा दोस्त दिल्ली रहने चला गया, वहां उसके चाचा रहते हैं। My friend has moved to Delhi where his uncle lives. हाँ, तो ये ख्याल रखने की चीज है एक्स्ट्रा, ठीक है। हालांकि इस पे दूसरे कॉन्टेक्स्ट बनाकर जबरदस्ती इसको भी सही साबित कर सकते हैं, नॉट अ बिग डील। 3. Today I ate fish curry. It is my favorite dish. Today I ate fish curry, comma, which is my favorite dish. Lovely. फिर से आप किसी को इंफॉर्मेशन दे रहे हैं कि आज हम फिश करी खाए हैं। Today I have eaten fish curry. ठीक ठीक है। ये ज्यादा ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश के हिसाब से ज्यादा नेचुरल है। किसी को आप बता रहे हो, पता है आज फिश खाए हैं, टुडे आई हैव ईटन फिश करी। दिस सेंटेंस साउंड्स मोर करेक्ट देन टुडे आई एट फिश करी। हाउएवर, there are millions and millions of people who speak English as their first language, and they'll say this sentence is fine, nothing wrong. I will agree. कुछ लोगों के लिए कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, क्योंकि लैंग्वेज बहुत ही डायनामिक चीज होता है। एक जगह कुछ होती है, दूसरी जगह कुछ होती है, ठीक है। तो मैं उनसे बहस नहीं करूंगा तुम गलत बोल रहे हो। इट्स जस्ट दैट इन ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश दिस सेंटेंस साउंड्स बेटर इफ यू से टुडे आई हैव ईटन फिश करी व्हिच इज माय फेवरेट डिश। वो क्योंकि आप उसको बता रहे हो कि आज हम फिश खाए हैं, आप न्यूज दे रहे हो। तो जो आप किसी को न्यूज देते हो तो कौन से टेंस में देते हो? प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट में देते हो। कुछ ऐसी छोटी छोटी बातें ध्यान रखने की है, एंड आफ्टर यू स्टार्ट यूजिंग देम दे बिकम योर हैबिट। ओके, नंबर 4, इट इज बैंड्रा, full stop, all actors live here. Very nice. It is Bandra where all actors live. Very good, very beautiful sentence. आप एकदम सही काम किए. Okay, he is my English teacher. Full stop, he teaches me English. Okay. ये मेरी पत्नी है, इससे मेरी शादी हुई है। दोस्तों, वो ये मेरी पत्नी है, इससे मेरी शादी हुई है। समझ गया ना मैं क्यों हंसता हूँ? तो लैंग्वेज सिर्फ शब्दों का बात नहीं है, कॉमन सेंस बहुत जरूरी है। ओके, इज माई टीचर हु टीचेस मी इंग्लिश। वेरी गुड। ठीक है, 6, you can meet my English teacher, he teaches English very well. You can meet my English teacher, comma, who teaches English very well. बहुत बढ़िया। So you realize कि यहाँ सारे extra comma के बाद जो आप relative clause use कर रहे हो, these are giving extra information about the noun, है ना, जिसको रेफर कर रहा है। relative pronoun होता है ना, ये सब जो वर्ड्स यूज कर रहे हैं, where, which, ये सब जो वर्ड्स आ रहे हैं, ये सब आपको इसके पीछे वाले एंटीसीडेंट को रेफर करते हैं। यहाँ पहले सेंटेंस नंबर 2, वेयर मीन्स इन दिल्ली, वेयर मीन्स इन दिल्ली, which means fish curry. Sentence number 4 means where means Bandra. Sentence number 5, who means my teacher. And sentence number 6, who means my English teacher. Okay, now come to sentence number 1, because this is a little faulty. Patna is a famous city. There is the Golghar there. Okay, Golghar wahan hai. Okay, Patna is a famous city. There is the Golghar there. Okay, ठीक है. Patna is a famous city where the Golghar is. Where the Golghar is. Okay. आप पहले तो ए गोलघर क्यों किया आपने, ये मुझे बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आया, आप एक्सप्लेन करें। The Golghar became a Golghar. Okay, typing error. ठीक है. So where the Golghar is. Yes, Patna is a famous city where the Golghar is. Okay. Yeah, where there is Golghar. Where there is the Golghar. Where there is the Golghar. Srishti, I know you are there in the college. These are early days. You must be busy. But beta, if you find time, practice. Okay, Srishti? If you find
Okay,
time,
sir.
not something I'm forcing you to do. If you think you have a little bit time, then make some sentences. Practice whatever I teach in the class, beta. Okay. Now, I have zero doubt about your chances of improvement. You will certainly improve, Srishti, because the way you learn, it instills a lot of confidence in the teacher. Okay. The way you respond to what I teach, I don't have any doubts that you will, with time, improve your skills in English. No doubt. But yes, if you practice, the process will be faster. The improvement will be quicker. Okay. And better as well. Yeah. Now let's go back to the main book. You said there was homework in the practice book. What was the homework in the practice book? Oh, the listening file, audio file. Okay. And a little bit homework in the main book. Exercise 2 was your homework or not? Page number 98 in the main book. Oh. Okay. So the homework is mainly in the practice book. I have decided one thing. All those students who take it for granted that I will offer them another chance to learn English, and that's why they are irregular, careless, insincere, I'm not going to have them back in my class. Now, first of all, listening section. Sentence number 1. Ben worked in Dubai for 5 years. 2. He liked it because it was very exciting and very multicultural. 3. Not many years ago, Dubai was just a small fishing village. Good. Number 4, the people were very friendly and made Ben feel very welcome. There are a lot of water sports in Dubai. You can go water skiing and swimming. Swimming and water skiing. Yes, Pratik. 6, you can even go skiing. There is a ski center with real snow. There are, number 7. Yeah, this gets a lot of people actually. Number 8, the weather is much hotter than England, and it doesn't rain much at all. It doesn't rain much at all. The houses were cheaper and much bigger than in England. Okay. Now, number 7, when you listen to the audio file, you will realize what they're talking about. There are, what do you need? Just can you tell me the part of a speech or the word that will come here? Of all nationalities. What word will come in the blank space? A noun, a verb, an adjective? What will come? An adverb? What will come in the blank space in sentence number 7? Do you have an idea? There must be a noun in the blank space. There are, and a singular noun or plural noun? A plural noun. There are something of all nationalities, such as Indian, Chinese, Thai, traditional. What are they talking about? Restaurants? They are talking about? So there are restaurants of all nationalities. There are restaurants of all nationalities, such as Indian, Chinese, Thai, and traditional Arab. Let's listen to the audio file. This is the practice book, unit 9, audio file number 11 or 10.
Unit 9, exercise 11, parts 1 and 2.
Ben, you lived and worked in Dubai for 5 years.
Ben, you lived and worked in Dubai for 5 years.
Tell me something about the
Tell me something about the place. Hey guys, EARS, your part on the face, on your head side, on the side. EARS. And YEARS. How do you differentiate between the pronunciation of the two words? Okay, as the word years has a Y to it, so Y produces sound year, okay? So try to insert the sound year in the very beginning. And EARS starts with a vowel sound, which is E, not ear, E, okay? So EARS starts with E sound, and you say ears, okay? Ears, okay? But YEARS, because there is a Y sound, ear sound, how do you say YELLOW, yellow or yellow? Yellow. So there is a ear sound. So put that ear sound and you're fine. Now, how correctly you will be able to put that ear sound will depend on your listening and practice. Okay, so let me show you. Ears. Ears. Okay, I said that. Ears. I'm not starting with E. E is a vowel letter, vowel sound, okay? Here there is a letter Y. So it should start with a consonant sound, year. So say years. For 5 years. Okay, say it if you can. For 5 years. Okay, don't start with E. I know all your life you have pronounced it with E sound. You think ear. Actually, when you write it in Hindi, you write with E. That's the problem. But there is a Y there. Y is a consonant, right? It refers to the sound ya. It represents the sound ya. Y. Yup. Y-U-P. Up or yup? U-P up. But Y-U-P? Yup. Okay. So similarly, Y-E-A-H. Yeah. Yeah. Or A. Yeah or A? Y-E-A-H? Yeah. So similarly, Y-E-A-R. Put that yeah sound and you are good to go. Yeah. Plural, yes. Okay. All right. Ben worked in Dubai for 5 years. Do not start with E. Yes. Okay. All right. All right. You'll be fine when you get that yeah sound there. Okay. So Ben, you lived and worked in Dubai for 5 years.
Place. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Tell me something about the place. Did you like it? Because you lived there. So did you like it? आप वहां रहे थे, अच्छा लगा आपको, मजा आया था, ठीक था वो? Did you like it?
Yes, I did. It was a very exciting place.
It was a very exciting place. Place is a noun. A place. Place is a noun. Plural, places. A noun can be plural. Places, right? And you can put an adjective before a noun. So what kind of place? Good place, bad place, dirty place, clean place, exciting place. Exciting is an ing adjective. A boring place, an exciting place, and many more. Okay. So ing is used with nouns, with a verb to form an adjective. You say a boring class, right? A boring movie, an interesting film. Similarly, oh, that was an exciting place to work.
And very multicultural.
And very multicultural. An exciting place to work and very multicultural. This exciting is an adjective. It was an exciting place to work and very multicultural. Multicultural. Multi-word is used to suggest more than one, different, many. If the doctor gives you multivitamin tablets, it means the doctor gives you tablets which have more than one vitamin. That's why it is a multivitamin tablet. Okay. So multi means always multi-talented. The person does not have one talent, has multiple talents. Okay. So more than one talent. So it is multicultural. So if a place has one type of culture, it is not multicultural. But if a place has more than one type of culture, it is multicultural. UAE is a multicultural place.
There are people from all over the world.
There are people from all over the world. In Dubai, there are people from all over the world. There are people from all over the world. And now you're learning the relative pronoun that you learned, who live and work together. There are people from all over the world, full stop. They live and work together very happily. They live and work together very happily. You remove that full stop and you bring a comma. There are people from all over the world, extra information, comma, who live and work there together.
Who live and work together very happily.
Very happily. Who live and work together very happily. Very happily. Happy is an adjective. Happily is an adverb. They live and work together very happily. खुशी से रहते हैं, very happily, बहुत खुशी से रहते हैं. तो खुश happy, adjective. खुशी से happily. उसने खुशी खुशी मुझे हाँ कह दिया. He said yes very happily. There is another word, readily. मतलब बिल्कुल परिस्थिति नहीं दिखाई कि नहीं थोड़ा सा टेंशन है, तुरंत हाँ बोल दिया. He agreed readily. He readily agreed. Another word, by the way. Okay. Means without doing. So adverb. Okay. कोई काम किया, कैसे किया? They live together very happily. They live and work together very happily.
It's a fantastic place in many ways.
It's a fantastic place. Dubai is a fantastic place in many ways. Now, fantastic तक तो सही था. In many ways मतलब क्या? Okay, a class can be useful. A class can be useful in one way. A class can be useful in many ways. Come again. A class can be useful in one way. It is also correct. A class can be useful in only one way. And a class can be useful in many ways. Depends on what the teacher is teaching there and what your needs are, right? Somebody recommended a teacher's video to me yesterday on YouTube. I don't want to reveal the name, and asked me for my opinion. So I can only say that that teacher's class is useful in some ways, one or two ways. It's not useful in many ways because the teacher believes that you can take care of the pronunciation later. No, you don't have to take care of the pronunciation later or early. You don't need to do anything. You just need to make sure that the sources you are using, sources you have for your input, they are authentic sources and your pronunciation will always be okay. You don't need to do anything to improve your pronunciation, except one thing. Make sure that your sources are authentic. If you are listening to English from the wrong sources where it cannot be verified that the pronunciation people have on that source is correct, if it cannot be verified, then you should not be, listening to those people. So authentic sources, people who are educated, native speakers of the language, their pronunciation can be taken for granted. Their pronunciation can be taken at face value. Not for granted. Their pronunciation can be taken at the face value. You can trust them when you're listening to people who speak English as their first language. Occasionally, they will say something which may not be standard globally, okay? But otherwise, 99.99% times their pronunciation will be standard, acceptable all over the world. Sometimes there will be some differences, like if you're listening to an American, maybe one or two words they will pronounce in their own way, which other people do not agree with. For example, the word schedule, if you listen to it from an American's mouth, it will sound this way, schedule. And you will never hear this word from a British's mouth. Why? Because they will say schedule, schedule, the same word. They will be pronouncing schedule, okay? And you might feel a little confused there. But other than that, normal English words, 99.99% of them, both anyone, anywhere, Australians, Americans, British, South Africans, Singaporean, New Zealanders, anyone, they will all pronounce it with the same pronunciation. Their accents can be different, but not the pronunciation. So that class, that person's opinion, I could hear when he spoke English. I could hear how uncomfortable he was with English. He claimed to be a teacher for English, and he also claimed to be a teacher for spoken English, but he was clearly out of his comfort zone when he spoke English. He wasn't fluent at all. He was kind of searching for his words when he was speaking. and the discomfort could be felt. It was pretty, obvious that he was out of his comfort zone speaking English. He wasn't very comfortable with it. He wouldn't be able to have a conversation even for half an hour in English. He will have to switch to Hindi. There are people who do not feel very comfortable with the language. They cannot make good teachers of the language. When you learn to speak a language from somebody, you have to ensure that that person is, first of all, comfortable with the language. Even if they are not grammatically correct all the time, you can compromise with that part, that aspect. But if they are not comfortable with the language, okay, if after speaking for half an hour, 30, 25 minutes, 45 minutes, if they have to switch to their mother tongue because they feel out of their comfort zone, then those teachers cannot be good for teaching the language, because unless a teacher has that comfort zone in a language, they are not going to be able to help you very well, because language is so dynamic, it is so fluid. I feel, but I kind of give them very, very low score for coming up with PDFs with Hindi sentences and English sentences written below those Hindi sentences. Zyada mat bolo, don't speak too much, and stuff like that. They come with those sentences and they say, okay, PDF download karenge, PDF denge. I say, you have no idea how language is learned. You have no idea how language is acquired at all, the second language. So, yeah, some classes are useful in many ways. For example, now that I was talking to you here, how was this class useful to you? It was useful for your pronunciation. You are, whether you know it or not, subconsciously your pronunciation is improving. Now it's another thing if you take off the meat after 15 minutes on the stove and you say, oh, it didn't cook properly. You didn't leave it long enough, okay, on the stove. Similarly, you got to listen to somebody speaking like me for long enough. If it is not long enough, it will not have the impact. I'm going to go live today or maybe on Saturday with a woman from Uzbekistan who is not a native speaker of English, who was a student like you guys, but she managed to learn English so well, you will be impressed by the way she speaks, okay? The question is, did she learn through your methods, the methods that Indian teachers and educators and students are familiar with? The answer is absolutely no. She learned differently. Okay. And what are her methods? She will talk about them in detail in that interview I'm going to do with her. I would go live on YouTube, my YouTube channel, with her as well. And I would invite a lot of my students when she's there, because you're going to listen to somebody who was like you, couldn't speak English, okay, and then managed to speak English so very well. So how did that happen? What were the things she did? Because if somebody speaks English as their first language, they never learned that language, so they cannot really inspire you as much, okay? But this woman that I'm talking about was like you, couldn't speak English. There was a time in her life when she was 13, 14 years of age, but today she is 26, 27, I think, and she speaks very good English, okay? How did she manage to transform? How did she manage to learn English so well? So her ideas will be worth your time, worth your attention. And like I said, that teachers, the recommendation that I had, I didn't find that teacher even worthy enough of a mark. I could give him 3 out of 10. Now I couldn't really. But he has 2 million subscribers on YouTube. How many? How come? The obvious answer is India is a big country with so many people struggling to learn English, having no idea how this language is actually learned. They come from all the places like villages, small towns where they don't have quality teachers. So whatever they have heard, they are just desperate. Besides, that person's looks also matter. He's very young and very attractive. So that also, I'm pretty sure a good number of those students would be girls, young girls who just like to look at him. That's also a fact that some people may not want to acknowledge, but as you know me, I call a spade, so I have to just say it outright, Okay. The problem with me is, you guys just take me for granted. Like when I speak English, you guys think, oh, sir ka kaam hai bolna. And that's where you guys kill my whole effort. You spoil all my effort. Okay. मेरा काम नहीं है बोलना, ये मेरे सिखाने का तरीका है when I'm talking to you in English. The problem is you guys are not aligned to my thinking. Your thinking hasn't aligned to my thinking, the right way of learning. That's why you will not appreciate it. Somebody has told you to go collect lots of, what do you call them? Let's say diamonds, okay? But you have not learned how to recognize diamonds. So there was this guy who gave you a lot of diamonds, but because you couldn't really realize that they were real diamonds, you threw them away looking for more diamonds, correct diamonds, because you just couldn't understand. Why? Not trying to say I'm a diamond and you will never be the Johari, okay? You will never be the Johari. You can't be. The Johari has to be somebody superior to me who will know, oh, yes, you're right, okay? You guys just understand one thing, common sense. If you are getting to hear Hindi words all the time in your ears, how come is it going to help you improve your ability to speak English? If the person who has the responsibility to help you with your spoken English is speaking to you in Hindi all the time, 90%, 80% of the time, then how come are you going to improve your speaking skills? I know the defense they will have. Oh, but these are early days. We have to speak Hindi. Those early days will never come to an end. That's the sad reality for them. They try to cover their weakness, their limitations, saying that these are early days. That's why we do it. I know I have been an educator for last 16, 17 years, and I know how hard it was for me to speak English so effortlessly the way I do now. I couldn't do this 10, 15 years ago. I spoke English, but I wasn't as effortless as I am today. And this effortlessness helps my students. If I am struggling to form my sentences, it will not help you as much. Whether you agree with it or not, it's not my problem. This is the reality. You guys managed to learn whatever skills you have in English, okay? You have managed to learn because of listening. I'm talking about speaking skills, okay? Not understanding skills. If you understand English, if you understand English, we have got an understanding for English, that could be because of listening, because of reading as well. But whatever little you speak, that is the result of your listening. The problem is you don't appreciate it, what is going on. Once you start to speak a little bit, you stop this process because you enjoy speaking now. And because you stop the process of the input, your growth also becomes stagnant, stops. And then you keep going around confused. What has happened? Why I'm not improving more? Because the process is stopped. When you didn't speak any English, you listened, you tried, you improved a little. Carry on with the same process, keep listening. Okay, the problem is when somebody like me speaks this way to you, then you catch 20, 30% of the things and the rest go waste, okay? Then you just need to do this for a long time, that's all. You just need to do this for a long time. Automatically, you guys will speak. But then the problem is you are not attentive when you're listening. You don't do any exercises. This homework I gave the day for yesterday, then a couple of students said, "Oh, we couldn't do it." And now one of your friends, Nikhil, is not present. He's not even present in the class today. So laziness is not gonna help in any way. Anyways, what was the sentence, guys? Multicultural. Multi means many or one? Many. Okay. It is multicultural, multi-talented.
Ways.
Why is it so fantastic?
Oh, it's fantastic in many ways. Fantastic. What you've heard the word, but you don't really understand the word fantastic. So, do you know the word fantasy? Fantasy means something that is opposite to the reality. That's why it is fantasy. It is not real. It contrasts with the word reality, fantasy. So you live in a fantasy world. Sometimes people say this to you. You live in a fantasy world. A fantasy world is not the real world. In the real world, there are situations that you see. And in a fantasy world, you have your imagination, the way you want the world to be. Somebody says, if I never do anything bad to anybody, why will anybody do anything bad to me? An innocent child says, then you say, nah, you are just innocent, right? Fine, you will learn. But when a grown-up man says this, then you say you live in your fantasy world, that when you don't do anything wrong to anybody, nobody will do anything wrong to you. That's not true. People have different kinds of personality. You don't have a personality to hurt people, to harm people, but somebody may have that personality and they will harm you, not thinking about your personality, that you're a kind person, you're a good person, because they are unable to help their own instincts, right? Their own personality. So they will do some damage to you. They will harm you. They will hurt you. Okay. So when you believe in this kind of thing, that is a fantasy world. If you remember the childhood story about Alice in the Wonderland, and a fantasy world is something that you imagine, that you believe, but it is not real. Fantasy, like people sometimes have the fantasy, small kids have a fantasy to have to visit a chocolate factory and to be lost there in the chocolate factory, or to be left in the chocolate factory, and they have all the chocolate for themselves, to themselves, they can eat all the chocolate all night, like kind of thing. These are fantasies. Some children have a fantasy that they will fly like Superman or Shaktiman. Okay, these are fantasies. Grown-up people have different kind of fantasies that I shouldn't talk about in the class, but they have other fantasies too. So fantasy. So when something, fantasy is a noun, and fantastic comes from that word fantasy, something like a fantasy. So a fantastic short is so special, so good, that it sounds like, it feels like fantasy, that how is it possible? How is it real? So something that is fantastic is unreal type. So good that it is unreal. So Dubai is so fantastic in many ways. Dubai is fantastic in many ways. Then she asked, why is it so fantastic? Why is it like a fantasy? Why is it so unreal? Then he answers,
Dick.
Well, not many years ago, it was just a small fishing village.
not many years ago, it was just a small fishing village. Now, a lot of people have this kind of fantasy about their city, wherever they live. If you live in a village, you have this fantasy at the back of your mind that something will happen and your village will change into a very, very special village, very, very modern village with very good roads, very good electricity condition, good schools. You have that fantasy, and imagine if that actually happens. It will be fantastic. It will be, I hope you understand the word fantastic, as it comes from the word fantasy. It is related to the meaning of the word fantasy. So fantastic, wow. That is something that doesn't happen a lot, but if it happened, it's like fantasy, so it is fantastic. So this actually happened with Dubai. When in 2014, Prime Minister Modi proposed the idea of 100 smart cities, right? That 100 cities in India would be made smart cities. And I was very excited to hear that. And when I got to know that Bihar Sharif was in that list, I was so happy. I thought, okay, now Bihar Sharif is going to become what I've always dreamt to see Bihar Sharif as. But as you know, things happen very slowly. 10 years almost have passed, and now we are getting to see, all in the name of smart city, these pipes, sewerage pipes and water treatment, or things like this. But it hasn't changed much. Okay, Bihar Sharif hasn't changed much. To an outsider, yes, maybe, but to the people living in Bihar Sharif hasn't changed much. Those who visit Bihar Sharif after 10, 15 years, they might say, oh, Bihar Sharif has changed a lot. But change is fantastic when the people living there experience this, right? In Dubai, not many years ago, there was nothing, no malls, no stadiums, nothing. There were small houses. It was a small fishing village. If you Google the photo of Dubai in 1960s, 50 years ago, and Dubai today, you will see the huge difference. I'm going to show you. Just give me a second. Dubai. Then and now. Okay, you'll be surprised. This can happen in such a little time. In people have seen it all in their own lives. Okay. Okay. Give me a minute. I'll turn on the biggest screen. Oh, can't. Can you guys please come and take a look here on the screen? Everybody. There you go. This is Dubai in 2005. Dubai today. Dubai then and Dubai now. Take a look. This is Dubai now and look at Dubai in the past. Okay. In 1991, in 2017, 17 and 9, 26 years, and see the change. How from this, Dubai became this. Then when you watch such photos, when you look at these photos, then you say, money makes the world go round. This all happened because money is so powerful and these people had money. They transformed their city, Dubai, into this. Did you know that Dubai was like this? Dubai was like this. 1970s Dubai, take a look. 1970s Dubai. It was a small fishing village. Because it is next to the ocean, so the main business occupation of the people was fishing. And today you see here, this is what it has become. 1960s was when oil was discovered. Okay, 1960. That is when Middle East started changing. Before 1960s, before oil was discovered there, the whole of Middle East was nothing, no importance, because you don't have money. If you're a poor country, who cares about? Okay, nothing. And then they got oil. Everything changed. The world changed forever. So this is what they're talking about in the audio. Okay, Dubai. Changing, still changing, right? Still changing very fast. Unbelievable. This is just unbelievable. Those people who were 10 years old, 12 years old in 1970, okay, they would be around 70 years old now. And in their own lifetime, they saw this huge change. Those who were born 10, 20 years later in 1990, they would not have seen this Dubai. And now in 30 years time, they can see this Dubai. It's like, when I was a kid, Bihar Sharif was a small village. And now that I'm 45, Bihar Sharif has become like Dubai. That happens, then it is like fantasy. It is in everybody's fantasy. They want to see their villages, their towns changing like this. And this actually happened with Dubai. So Dubai is a fantastic place in so many ways. Not only just buildings, the business, right? Free time activities. What could people do in this place? Tell me, in 1970s, in the name of free time activities, they could go and swim. That's it. What else they could do in this desert? And today, Dubai has a stadium, Dubai has clubs, Dubai has malls. I mean, what doesn't Dubai have? It has everything. Dubai is one of the most expensive places to live today. One of the most expensive. A lot of people want to go and live in Dubai. Shah Rukh Khan and many Hollywood actors, they have bungalows in Dubai. They invested their money in real estate in Dubai. They bought some, buildings there, flats there. So let's carry on.
And now, just a few years later, there are huge modern buildings everywhere.
And now, only a few years later, not many years ago, it was just a small fishing village. Not many years ago, it was just a small fishing village. And now, just a few years later, there are big buildings everywhere, right?
There are huge modern buildings everywhere. There are so many shopping centres.
There's so many shopping centers, clubs,
Sports stadiums, offices,
hotels, clubs, stadiums.
hotels. It's incredible.
It's incredible. Now, if you have this kind of change, is it easy to believe? What you saw was easy to believe? So that is incredible. Incredible means something that is so good, so impressive, that it is difficult to believe it is true. When you find something difficult to believe it is true, you call it incredible because it is so good. In cricket, you can describe a shot as an incredible shot. Some shots that he plays, what is his name? Surya? Yeah. Some of the shots he plays, they are just incredible. It's hard to imagine that one can play such shots. So that's why incredible is always positive, good, so impressive that one can't believe it easily. Incredible. So you can describe something as incredible. It's an adjective, obviously. Okay. An incredible performance. Okay. Incredible growth, right? Share, started at 2 rupees a few months ago, and now it is at 200 rupees a few months later. Okay. An incredible growth, right? Okay. Okay. A fantastic thing, like imagine you invest 1,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees in something, and it becomes 10 crore in a few months. That would be incredible. That would be fantastic. See? Okay. They are in some ways, synonyms, because what is incredible can be fantastic, and what is fantastic has to be incredible. Okay.
How did you find the people?
How did you find the people? This is such a confusing sentence. Confusing, exciting, confusing sentence. ING adjective. Why is it a confusing sentence? Because find means dhundna, pana. This is what occupies people's mind when they. I'm talking about those who do not know English. Those who are trying to learn English. They think find means pana, find means dhundna. So how did you find the people? आपने लोगों को कैसे ढूंढा, आपने लोगों को कैसे पाया? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. आपको लोग कैसे लगे? How did you find the people? You went to the cinema and you came back. People ask you, how did you find the movie? How did you find the movie? Means, did you like the movie? Tell me your opinion about the movie. That basically they're asking you to share your opinion. How did you find the film? Oh, it was quite interesting. Another person came out. How did you find the film? Oh, it was absolutely boring. I didn't like it. Another person came out. How did you find the film? Oh, it was incredible, fantastic. I couldn't believe how good the film was. I can watch it 3 more times like that. So how did you find something means share your opinion. Okay. I find these YouTubers, good-looking YouTubers, average teachers of English, especially those who are claiming that they teach spoken English. I don't see any one teacher speaking fluent English, those who claim that they would teach spoken English. And I know their defense. अरे हमको आपको इंग्लिश दिखानी नहीं है भाई, हमको सिखाना होता है. आपके हिंदी बोलने से अगला इंग्लिश नहीं सीखने वाला है. आप सिंपल इंग्लिश बोल लो. When the course starts, elementary course starts, I still speak Hindi, simple and slow. I give people a chance to get used to learn listening to English. Why can't they do it? One, they are not capable of it. Two, they are not aware that this is going to help. Three, because they want views. They know if they spoke English, not many people will watch them. So, okay, so all these are the reasons. Maybe reason number one for some people, reason number three for some other people, reason number two for some other people. These are all the reasons. And any teacher who claims that they are teaching spoken English, they're teaching you how to speak English, and they are talking to you speaking Hindi all the time. Once in a while, it's okay. But all the time, if they speak Hindi where the students are struggling, I absolutely appreciate it, But if they are speaking Hindi just like that, then you have to find out why. What's the reason? And the thing I notice is most of these people, when they speak English, then I see them very stiff with their English, very stiff. They barely manage to put those words together. And they will keep repeating a certain type of sentence, like this gentleman whose video I was sent. I find him speaking have to a lot. Have to. And he doesn't say have to, which is the right pronunciation. He says how to, have to. This is how he pronounces it. So wrong. And 2 million subscribers. What are they learning? Have to. Okay, no problem. I have always known that there are things for masses and there are things for classes. There are things which will be popular but not very good quality, and there are things which will be high quality but will not be very popular. It is always true about everything in the world.
Very friendly.
How did you find the people? Very friendly. He found the people very friendly. His opinion is the people were very friendly. How did you find the people? Very friendly. How did you find the film? Very interesting.
Everyone was there to do business.
Everybody was there to do business. He's saying that people were friendly, they were sincere, everybody was there to do business. Dubai, I think if you look at the total population of Dubai, then 70% or more than 70% people are actually foreigners. Only 20-30% people are the local people in Dubai. The rest of them are outsiders. So Dubai is multicultural. You understand why? Because majority of the population is from outside, not from Dubai itself. Dubai people, local people are in minority in Dubai. They're in different parts of the UAE, which is the country. Dubai is the capital, right? UAE. Okay.
And we were guests in the country.
We were guests in the country. He's saying all these things. Try and understand the message. Everybody was there to do business. We were guests in the country. So we behave like guests. If you are a guest somewhere and you behave like a guest, then everything will be fine. The moment you try to be the host or behave like the host, that's when the problems will start. If they are guests in the country, they will not say anything about policy making in Dubai. They will never have a comment. Because when you are a local, you have an opinion. If it is your family, your house, you can say anything about your dad. What your dad is doing is good or bad. You can criticize him. But when you are a guest in my family and you are criticizing my father, I'm not going to be happy with that, right? You understand what I mean? I can criticize my dad because it's my house, it's my family. You are a guest here. You stay here for a couple of days, fine. Get yourself, purpose fulfilled and leave. So we were guests there. Message is direct and clear. We did not interfere too much. We were guests there.
And they made us feel very welcome.
They made us feel very welcome. The local people made us feel very welcome. Now, of course, because you bring business, you bring value, you add value to Dubai.
So people there work very hard.
Every Tom, Dick, and Harry cannot go to Dubai, right? So people who can add value to Dubai go to Dubai. So the Dubai locals are respectful to their guests because they understand Dubai will not be Dubai if these outsiders left Dubai. So obviously they appreciate the outsiders. Okay. What was the last question?
So people there work very hard.
So people there work very hard. So people there work very hard. Just inserting this word there between people and work can be too much for some students of English. Because the word there was there between people and work. People there work very hard. Okay. Now drop the word there. People work very hard. This sentence everybody understands. And you just because you inserted the word THERE, and even though it is perfect in the context here, still some people have such little imagination. People there, their work, people there, people in Dubai work very hard. So people there work very hard. Okay. And
What about entertainment?
what about entertainment? You talked about business and all fine. What about entertainment?
Was there a lot to do in your free time?
Was there a lot to do? Was there a lot to do in your free time? Were there many options? Were there many things to do? Was there a lot to do in your free time?
There's a lot of things to do.
Oh, there's a lot of things to do. This is informal English. He says there's a lot of things to do. So a lot of things is a singular noun or plural? A lot of things is plural. And he says there's means there is or there are. There's means there is. Then how can we say that? There is a lot of things. Can we say there is a lot of things? Informally, we say there is a lot of things to do. Okay. There is a lot of things to do, just informal. Otherwise, there are a lot of things to do. Otherwise, you can drop the word things and that sentence is fine. There is a lot to do. Absolutely grammatical. No problem. There is a lot to do. Oh, there's a lot of things to do.
All the water sports.
All the water sports. All the water sports.
Swimming, windsurfing, and sports centres where you can
Sports center where you can
play tennis and squash.
And squash. There are sports centers in Dubai with money they have built these things. There are sports centers where you can play tennis, where you can play squash, another game, racket game, just like tennis. But we don't play against a person, you play against the wall.
You can even go skiing there.
You can even go skiing there. And forget about all this. This is the surprising part. You can even go skiing there. आप वहाँ skiing भी कर सकते हैं.
Yes, I understand that there's a ski centre with...
Yeah, I understand there is a ski center with real snow. हाँ, मैंने सुना है. आपने ये कब बोली ना? I understand. Okay. Now, understand मतलब तो समझना होता है. हाँ, होता है. When you use it that way. For example, the teacher is explaining something to you and he asks, do you understand what I mean? You say, yes, I do. I understand very well what you're teaching. No problem. That is correct, समझना. But खाली समझना नहीं होता. So when you have got some information and you want confirmation, then you say, I understand. In a formal situation, it sounds better. I understand you are here to take a loan to buy a new house. Suppose you went to a bank, you applied for a loan, you wrote an application. Okay, now you are sitting in front of the manager. Manager has already been, updated. Okay, he has been briefed that you are here for that loan. He has got your documents. He starts the communication with you. I understand you are here for a loan to buy a new house, right? And you say, yes, sir, that's right. Okay, so he confirmed with you by saying that. I understand you are here to take a loan, right? I understand means this is what I have been told. This is what I have got to know. I understand there is a ski center. The interviewer says, I understand there is a ski center with real snow. He says, yes, that's right.
Real snow.
That's right.
That's right. सही सुना है, सही पता चला आपको. That's right.
It can be 40 degrees centigrade outside.
It can be 40 degrees centigrade outside. भले ही बाहर 40 डिग्री हो. It can be 40 degrees centigrade outside.
But you can ski on snow.
But you can ski on snow. But you can ski on snow. It can be 40 degrees. Even though it is 40 degrees outside, you can ski on snow inside. Money makes the world go round. पैसे से दुनिया चलती है. देखो कैसे चला रहे हो. गर्मी में स्कीइंग करवाते हैं. And then they talk about global warming. Is that not contributing to global warming? You can imagine how powerful ACs will be required to cool such a big area, to maintain a temperature below zero, to keep ice, snow there, right? Snow, to have snow. So the cooler an AC makes an area, the hotter it gets and hotter air it throws outside. ACs are bad for our environment, right? Just because of the way they work. And it's a very strange kind of situation. You're using an AC, you're feeling cool inside, but the environment is getting hotter. So next year you will feel hotter. Again, you will add one more AC to cool yourself down. Again, the next year you will feel hotter. I'm just giving an example. It's not every year you need to buy another AC, but yes, the temperature of the earth and the environment is on the rise because of this use of AC as well. So AC is not a clean business. Even though you are making AC very, very, honestly, giving good product and everything, but it is not good from the perspective of environment. Yeah, it's bad.
There's lots to do in the evening. Bar.
There's lots to do. There's lots to do in the evening.
Bars, clubs, music.
What about restaurants?
What about restaurants? What about restaurants?
I suppose there are a lot.
I suppose there are a lot. This time she didn't say I understand. उसको कोई बोला नहीं है. Common sense से बोल दिया. I understand. I suppose there are a lot. Suppose you conclude it using your logic. आपको लगता है ऐसा सही होना चाहिए because it is so multicultural, people from so many places live, so of course they need the food of their country as well, so it is a good place to start a restaurant. So Dubai should have all kinds of restaurants. So she says, I suppose there are lots of restaurants. He says yes.
There's every kind of restaurant you can imagine.
There is every kind of restaurant you can imagine. There is every kind of restaurant you can imagine. You can imagine. This phrase just adds emphasis that there is a wide variety of restaurants, wide range of restaurants in Dubai. There is every kind of restaurant you can imagine. If you go to a shop to buy a sari and the shopkeeper wants to show that uske yahan bahut tarah ki sariyan hain, he can say, oh, we have every kind of sari you can imagine.
From top class international in the big hotels.
From the top class national and the big hotels, international big hotels. From there, from those hotels to
Indian, Chinese, Thai,
Indian, Chinese, Thai,
traditional Arab, everything.
everything. Traditional Arab. You'll find from this to that. It is always used to give range, right? From this to that. I have all kinds of students, from very intelligent, clever students to very slow learners. Those who get 80-90% marks in their exams and those who barely manage to pass. I have all kinds of students in my class. So whenever we want to give range, we start from to. He's very popular with ladies. From 14-year-old girls to 60-year-old women, all like him. देखा कैसे range बताया मैंने? From 14-year-old girls to 60-year-old women, all like him. He's so popular. Okay.
Did you find the weather okay?
Did you find the weather okay? मौसम ठीक लगा आपको? Did you find the weather okay? I mean,
it's really hot.
it's
Yeah.
really hot. है तो बड़ा गर्म ना वहाँ पे, तो कैसे अच्छा चला लगा आपको? I mean, it's very hot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot hotter than England.
It's a lot hotter than in England.
In the summer months of June to August,
In the summer months of June to August. In the summer months of June to August,
it's really hot.
it's really hot. Really hot.
But for 8 months a year, the
But for 8 months a year, the other 8 months, for 8 months a year, साल में बाकी 8 महीने के लिए, for 8 months a year,
climate is perfect.
the climate is perfect.
And it doesn't really rain at all.
And it doesn't really rain at all. बारिश तो होती नहीं है.
You were there with your family.
You were there with your family. आप तो वहाँ परिवार के साथ थे ना? You were there you were in Dubai. You were there with your family.
Did they enjoy it?
They enjoy it? उनको मजा है? उनको अच्छा लगा? Did they enjoy it? Enjoy it. Did they enjoy it? Enjoy always takes an object. Sometimes people say enjoy a lot. एक दो बार मेरे मुंह से भी निकल जाता है. Wrong English. Okay? Enjoy something always. Did they enjoy it?
Very much.
Very
My
much.
2 children were born there.
My 2 children were born there.
We had a much better standard of living than in England.
We had a much better standard of living than in England. In Dubai, people have a much better standard of living than in England.
Houses were cheaper and much bigger.
Houses were cheaper and much bigger. That surprises me. He's saying that the houses were cheaper and much bigger in Dubai. Chalo bhai, wahi lo.
My kids loved having a swimming pool.
My kids loved having a swimming pool. It means they had a swimming pool or they didn't have a swimming pool. That's why he's saying my kids loved having a swimming pool. It means they had a swimming pool and the children liked it. If you don't have something, then you can't say, I love having it. If you don't do something, you can't say, I love doing it. I can say, I like being a teacher. You cannot say you like being a teacher because you're not a teacher. If you are a teacher, you can say, I love being a teacher. I cannot say I love being a girl because I'm not a girl. Srishti can say that, I love being a girl. She is a girl. So love doing something is true when you do it, when it is true about you. You've never watched a movie. And can you say, I love watching films? Maybe you have watched films, you enjoyed it. Now you're very busy. You can still say, I love watching films, but I don't get much time to watch films. I love watching films, but I don't get much time to. You've never watched films in life. How can you say I love watching films? How do you know that? You're not a teacher. How can you say you love being a teacher? How do you know? Right? So use your common sense. Learning English isn't very difficult. Time to wrap up, guys. And like I said, all those people who have been irregular, those people who have taken this for granted that sir will offer them another class when I'm starting one in the evening, I'm not going to. I will only offer my classes, revision classes, to those who have been regular at lesson. Otherwise, it will not be available to those who have dropped the class midway, who came to classes once in a while and made up all sorts of excuses. Now, not for them. See you guys tomorrow. You still have the same homework. And let me tell you, there should be some homework in the main book. Page number 98, exercise 2 and 3. See you all. Bye-bye. Exercise 2 and 3, page number 98. I have shared it with you guys. That's all for today. Bye. See ya.